Today we are looking at 20 camera tricks and little known features of the iPhone 15, 15 Pro and Pro Max that will help you capture better photos and videos, including how to use Siri to take a photo, use the Apple Watch as a monitor, edit Apple log footage on the iPhone and more. Let's jump right in. So let's start by opening the camera app, and there are a few ways this can be done. From the lock screen, you can either tap on the camera icon or swipe from right to left to open the camera app. Or alternatively, you can unlock your phone and press the camera icon on the home screen. You can also set up the action button on the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max to open the camera. To set this up, go to the settings menu and then select the action button option. Then by swiping across, you can change this to camera. And you can also decide which camera mode the app will open in when you press the button. For example, if I select portrait mode, now when I press the action button, you can see the camera app opens in portrait mode. But you might not know that you can also use Siri to open the camera app. And you can do this by simply saying Siri, open camera. But that's not all. You can also use Siri to take a picture. To be able to do this, we first need to set up a shortcut. To do this, open the Shortcuts app, which is installed by default on your iPhone. However, if you don't see it, simply go to the App Store, search for Shortcuts, and download the app. Then, with the Shortcuts app open, press Gallery on the bottom right and search for the shortcut called Say Cheese. Tap into this and press the blue Add Shortcut button at the bottom. Now, you can take a photo without touching your iPhone by simply saying Siri, say cheese. This can be super useful for capturing photos of yourself when out solo, because by using Siri, you don't need to be near your phone to capture an image. If you also have an Apple Watch, you might not know that you can preview the iPhone camera on it and take a photo or start and stop a recording. With the camera app open on your iPhone, go to the Camera Remote app on your Apple Watch, and now you will be able to see a real-time preview of what the camera on your iPhone is seeing. And here's a top tip. If you have ever tried vlogging or recording yourself using the iPhone's front-facing camera to get higher quality footage, you might get frustrated that you can't see a preview of what you are recording. But to get round this, you can simply hook your Apple Watch over your phone, and now you can see a preview as well as being able to start and stop your recording. This is super handy. Now, an accessory I find really useful is this Sherpa Versatile Grip from Freewell. It simply clamps over your phone case, and now you can hold the iPhone more like a traditional camera. There is also this Bluetooth shutter button on the top of the grip, so you don't need to tap the screen to take a photo or start or stop a recording. You can also swing the grip around to be able to use two hands to get more stable shots, and you can even expand it out to turn it into a selfie stick. On top of this, there is a cold shoe mount on the top if you wish to mount a microphone, and an Arca clamp at the bottom, so you can clamp your phone to a tripod securely. The best part for me is that once you're done, you can simply remove it from your iPhone in seconds, and you have just a normal phone again, unlike other grips that are permanently attached to the case. If you wish to find out more about the Freewell Sherpa grip, I will put a link to it in the description down below. Now, a setting I recommend changing within the camera app is the exposure control setting. By default, whenever you are capturing photos or videos outdoors on a bright sunny day, there are scenarios where you can get overexposed highlights. Maybe parts of your sky are blown out or appear white. So to prevent this from happening, with the camera app open, you first want to swipe up on the screen to reveal the additional controls, and then press this exposure icon. And you want to decrease this slider to around -0.3, which will tell the iPhone to expose your image slightly darker to help prevent the highlights from overexposing. Now, if you're looking to create high quality iPhone videos, then something that is super important is sound effects and music. Simply take a look at this before and after. Massive difference, right? But where can you find top-notch, copyright-free and safe-to-use sound effects and music? Well, for that, I personally use and recommend today's video sponsor, which is Epidemic Sound. With an impressive library boasting over 40,000 tracks across various genres and playlists, Epidemic Sound makes it a breeze to discover that perfect song. Need the sounds of waves crashing or the sounds of footsteps walking on sand? Their collection of 90,000 diverse sound effects has got you covered. Epidemic Sound also owns 100% of their music and sound effects, and because they are royalty free, you can confidently use them in your projects, even when sharing on platforms like Instagram and YouTube. So if you are looking for music and sound effects that you can use in your projects, then why not give Epidemic Sound a try? And if you use the link in the description down below, you will get a free trial. And you can use this to experience firsthand how their music and sound effects can transform your videos and sequences into cinematic masterpieces. Now, if you have the iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max, you can get more dynamic range in your videos and have more flexibility when editing them by using Apple ProRes Log, which is a flatter color profile. Using Apple ProRes Log will preserve more information in the highlights and shadows of your image and allows you much more flexibility in editing colors and contrast in a video editor. However, just be aware that this footage recorded in this mode will look grey and washed out straight from the iPhone and needs to be color graded to bring back the saturation and contrast in a video editor. To be able to use Apple ProRes Log, you first need to turn it on in the settings by going to the camera settings, tap Format, and then at the bottom turn on Apple ProRes. Then select the ProRes encoding setting and set this to log. Then when you go back to the camera app, you will see this new ProRes Log icon, and you want to tap this to make sure there is no line through it, and now you're capturing in Apple ProRes Log. Now just quickly, if you're getting value from this video, please let me know by giving me the thumbs up and clicking that like button down below. And if you love all things iPhone 15, 15 Pro and Pro Max, but also action cameras, drones, gimbals and more, and want to learn about the best settings to get up and running quickly, along with tips and tricks to help you get more cinematic videos and better looking images with your gear, then please consider subscribing by clicking that subscribe button down below. And when you're down there, be sure to check the notification bell so that you will be alerted when my new videos are released. It would be greatly appreciated. Something to be aware of when using Apple ProRes Log is that the file sizes are absolutely huge and will eat up your internal storage very quickly. So if you are recording in this format, you will probably need an external SSD. Now there are a few options for this. Firstly, you could simply attach a USB-C memory card reader like this, and then this allows you to use an SD card. The second option is to use this super small Samsung USB-C thumb drive. Now this has 256 gigabytes of space, and all you have to do is insert it into the USB-C port on your iPhone and you are good to go. Lastly, you could use a larger SSD drive, like this Samsung T7 1TB SSD. Now when it comes to mounting this, here is the method I have found the best. First, you want to pick up a USB-C 180 degree adapter, a USB-C coupler, and some MagSafe stickers. Then, with a MagSafe sticker applied to the SSD, simply insert the 180 degree adapter into your iPhone's USB-C port, and then attach the coupler to this. What this does is it allows you to connect your SSD drive at the perfect height on the back of your iPhone so that the MagSafe sticker magnets it into place. And I have found this solution to be very neat and secure. Again, I will put a link to all these accessories so you can find out more about them in the description down below. Now, to get the best results from Apple Log footage, you should color grade it on a video editor to bring back the contrast and saturation. However, did you know that you can also grade the footage on your iPhone to save time? So with the Photos app open, you can see I have recorded a lot of Apple Log footage. So let's click into one of these clips, and then you want to press Edit and go across to the Adjustments tab. So the first thing we want to do is add the saturation back to this footage, which we can do by selecting the saturation adjustment and then increasing this slider. I am also going to go to the vibrance adjustment and increase that until I like how the image looks. The next thing we want to do is bring back the contrast to this shot. So let's select the contrast adjustment and increase the slider. The next step we want to take is to decrease the shadows. If you look at the darker areas of the image, they are currently more grey. So we want to decrease this slider to move them areas closer to black. Lastly, looking at the sky area of this image, you can see it's a little too dark. And again, the white clouds look closer to grey. So let's select the highlights adjustment and increase this slider to increase and brighten the highlights just until we like how the sky looks. And once we are happy with this image, we simply want to hit done. And now you have your finished clip ready to use. Now you might be thinking that's great, but this will take forever to do for all the clips I have captured. But the nice thing is that once you have done this for one clip, you can copy and paste these adjustments to multiple clips. So with this same clip open, you want to press the three dots on the top right corner and then select Copy Edit. Now you can go back and select multiple ungraded clips, press the same three dots in the lower right corner and select Paste Edits. And now the same adjustments have been applied to all these clips. And this is a super quick way to color grade all of your log footage. Now when you're in photo mode, you can tap the shutter button to capture an image. But this button has a few additional features that you might not know about. Firstly, you can press and hold this button to start capturing a video when in photo mode. And to stop the recording, you simply lift your finger. While recording, you can also swipe your finger up to zoom in and then slide your finger down to zoom out. You can also start recording a video this way and then slide the button to the right to lock it in place. And now you can lift your finger off the screen and the video will continue recording. While the video is recording, you can also tap this white button on the right side of the screen to capture images at the same time. If you instead slide the shutter button to the left, you can now start capturing burst photos, which is where the camera captures a series of photos in rapid succession. This can be useful for capturing something fast moving that you don't want to miss. And once you have captured your burst photos, if you go to the photo app, you will see all the burst photos stacked together. If you tap into this and choose select, you can see all the images captured during the burst. Here you can select the best shots to keep and remove the rest. Something else that you might not know is that you can actually create a GIF from the burst shot. Again, this requires a shortcut. To do this, again open the Shortcuts app and choose Gallery on the bottom right and then search for Convert Burst to GIF. After you have added this to your iPhone, you want to select this shortcut and then choose an image from your burst shot. After a few seconds, you will see a preview of your GIF, which you can save and then share with your friends. Now, one of the annoying things that you might encounter when capturing videos with your iPhone is a change in the white balance. Just take a look at this example. As I move the iPhone around, just look at how much the color changes, and this can be very distracting to your viewer. Don't worry though, with a simple setting change, you can prevent this from happening. Going back to the settings menu, you want to select Camera and then select Record Video. And then you want to scroll down to the bottom and turn on Lock White Balance. Now if we go back and record the same video, you can see that the white balance does not change as I move the iPhone around, and we don't get any weird and distracting color shifts. Now by default, whenever you close the camera app down, the mode and any adjustments you have made will reset to their default settings. So if you were in video mode, but you have to take a phone call, whenever you reopen the app, it will default back to photo mode, and this can result in you missing a shot. Also, if you have made adjustments such as lowering the exposure or turning on ProRes log, these will also reset, which can be annoying. Luckily, this can easily be fixed by turning on something called Preserve Settings. If you go to the Settings menu and select Camera, in here you can see an option called Preserve Settings. Now, once you tap into this, you will see a list of all the options you can preserve. So for example, if I turn on the Preserve option for camera mode, now if I am using video mode and I close down the camera app, when I reopen it, the video mode will still be selected. Personally, I like to turn all these options on so that any adjustments I make within the camera app stay that way whenever I close the app down and reopen it again. Now, if you struggle to capture photos or videos that are level, then a tool I recommend turning on is the level. With this on, whenever you use the camera app, you will see this small level line appear on the screen, and this is super useful for getting a level horizon. Also, if you are in photo mode and tilt the phone downwards, this level will turn into a small X icon, which will now help you make sure that your top-down photos are perfectly level. Moving on to the next tip. When you capture a photo with live photos turned on, your iPhone will record what happens 1.5 seconds before and 1.5 seconds after you have taken an image. You can preview this by going to the photo in the Photos app and then pressing and holding on the screen. Now this is great, but what can you do if you want to use this clip in a video sequence or share it with non-iPhone users? Luckily, we can convert this live photo to a video clip. To do this, tap on the three dots on the top right of the screen and then select Save as a Video. And now you have a video clip of the live photo. Something you might not know is that you can use live photos to simulate a long exposure photo. Now, long exposure photography is a technique where the shutter of a camera is left open for a longer duration than normal, and this captures the trail of moving objects such as water flowing, while static elements remain sharp. To do this with the iPhone, it's best to place your iPhone on a tripod as you don't want any shakiness while you capture the image. Then point your iPhone towards a subject that has movement in it, such as this waterfall, and then take an image, making sure live photos is turned on. Then, with the image open in the photo app, press the live button on the top left of the image and select long exposure. And now you have this epic long exposure effect applied to the image. Another technique that can help you get more unique images and is possible thanks to the telecameras on the iPhone is background compression. Because of a combination of the telecamera and phone to subject distance, this can make distant objects look larger than they actually are, and as a result it gives the appearance that the background has been pulled in closer to the subject, and this allows you to get a more unique image. Just take a look at this example. Look how much larger and closer that background subject looks on the 5x telecamera compared to the 1x camera. So if you want to spice your images up a bit, then don't be afraid to use that telecamera to achieve some background compression. Another trick you might not know is that when you press and hold on a person or object within a photo in the Photo app, you will see this wave animation and the iPhone will automatically cut that subject out from the image. Now you can create a sticker from this cutout subject by selecting Add Sticker. Now in the Messages app, when you select the plus icon and select stickers, you will see all the stickers you have created. The best part is, if you have cut out something that was moving from a live photo, you will now have an animated sticker that you can use. Something else you might not know is that you can add the portrait mode effect to a normal photo at a later stage, even after capturing it. So as an example, check out this regular photo that I took with the iPhone in the normal photo mode. If we tap Edit, you can see there is an option called Portrait along the bottom. After we select this, we can now use this slider to add that background blurring effect to our image, and this works really well. You can also adjust the focal point. So right now you can see it set so that I am in focus. But if we tap on the background, you can see the focus changes to that background. We can change the focus back to the subject again by simply tapping on it. Just be aware though that this only works when it detects a face, a cat, or a dog in the photo. Now when you open the camera app, you will see 4 focal lengths or zoom levels along the bottom. 0.5 times, 1 times, 2 times, and either 3 times or 5 times, depending on if you have the iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max. But did you know that there are 2 further focal lengths that you can use? If you tap the 1 times zoom level once, the focal length changes to 28mm or 1.2 times. And if you tap again, this changes to 35mm or 1.5 times. The best part is that if you capture images with these focal lengths, there will be no discernible difference in quality. Now, if you find yourself using either the 1.2 times or 1.5 times focal length a lot, you can actually set either of these to be the default lens. To do this, go to Settings, then Camera, and then scroll down and select the main camera option. Here you can change the default lens to either of the 3 different zoom levels. So, hopefully you have learned something new about your iPhone 15, 15 Pro, or Pro Max, and that these tips will help you capture better and more unique videos and images with it. Now, if you want to get the highest quality images possible from your iPhone, then here is a video going over the best camera settings you should be using that I recommend checking out by clicking up here or by using the link in the description down below.